So today I'm going up in the attic in the garage to take care of the air conditioning air handler. The air handler itself, where the cooling elements are for the AC, was leaking last year. As you can see, did a bit of damage to the ceiling. It just kept leaking, and so I was afraid as much water that got into the plenum, which is not metal, it's made out of, I wish I had some of that material. It's made out of kind of a spongy, hard, almost cardboard-like insulation material. And it got completely soaked, and I was afraid I was looking at some black mold up there. So I'm going up to cut the plenum off of the air handler and peel it back and have a look inside and see if I've got any black mold in there. If I do, I'm going to have to rebuild that plenum. I'm also going to blow any of the dust and lint that gets past my filters through that cooling element. It's like a little radiator. In fact, it's a lot like the condenser outside. It's got fins between the cooling passages that get plugged up, and you want to make sure those are open. So I'll be doing that, and then I'm going to take the blower motor out of that air handler, because the squirrel cage, which is a circular fan, not fan blades, but it's like a hamster wheel cage. I'm going to take that out and clean 25 years of dust, lint, and grime off that thing. I don't know if it's static electric charge that makes it cling so tight, but it locks on there and becomes so hardened that it's hard to scrape off. So the only way I can get that clean is to remove the blower, the electric motor, everything, then disassemble it, take the hamster wheel out, the squirrel cage, and clean it off with wire brushes. I may even put it through the vapor honing machine. So I got my work cut out for me today. I'll be working up in that nice space. It gets warm, so I'm going to do it before it gets too hot out. And then I can put these away because they go up next to it. So yeah, looking forward to that. Okay, before you go playing with the electrical on your air handler, you've got a capacitor on that runs that electric motor, and it's I believe it's a 440 volt, and they store up a charge from a small charge up to whatever they're rated for. This one goes from like 240 up to 440. And that's a lot of electricity. So before you touch that, you want to come here. And you see you got heat, air conditioner. So we're going to turn those off. Heat. That one. Okay, you want to make sure those are off so you don't get any shocking surprises while you're up there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take the connections off of that capacitor with insulated pliers and some heavy leather gloves, and hope that I'm not close enough to get a shock. And then I'll bridge the terminals. I'll show you when I get up there. I'll bridge the terminals on top of that capacitor. I'll get a spark and a snap, and that will bleed off that charge. Now the reason why I pull the electrical connections off is that I don't want any sudden charge feeding back to any components in there that could damage something else. As long as nothing's plugged onto it, the only thing you can possibly damage is the capacitor itself, and they're not that expensive. You know, you can get one for anywhere from $20 to $60 for a replacement, depending on what it's for. So, okay, back to it. So this is the air handler. Over here is the plenum. This is the air handler here. So I've been taking this part off, right where that seam is, opening it up so I can look inside, then I'll be sealing it back up. Okay, I didn't show taking this panel off or removing the capacitor. You got to be careful with these capacitors. As you can see, I'm wearing leather gloves, work gloves, and I shorted this out after taking the leads off to remove the charge that this capacitor has in it. I just bridged these two, got a bit of a snap spark. That did it again to make sure there was no other spark. And I'm going to put this out of the way because I don't know if there's still more charge in it. And this sucker holds, I think, 440 volts. Not what you want to be hit by. So once this is off, it's safe to work with. I'll put that down there with the leads facing the opposite way. Now I'm going to pull these wires off. And I'm going to pull this squirrel cage off. And I'm going to clean those the squirrel cage fan blades because they're caked up with about 25 years of grit that's just, it looks like it's baked on, but it's not. So here we go. Okay, black ones next over, yellow ones first. Get those out of the way. Now the reason why I took these leads off that capacitor is because I don't want any short going to my circuit board here. This little guy here. I don't want to have to replace that because this is an old unit and these little circuit boards are hard to come by. And you can find them, but they're not cheap. Keep all my screws in a pan down here. Now if I'm right, this whole fan canister should just slide right out. Okay, so here you can see it's got a lot of garbage on the fans. So I'm going to clean that off. Help this thing move air a little bit easier. Okay, this squirrel cage has got two sides and this is in the middle, so I'm going to undo this and slide the motor out of the backside. And I'll do that by undoing the motor mounts and just sliding the shaft out. And then I should be able to get at this fan and clean it up. Use a little thread lock when I put this back together. And there's the shaft. Motor looks good. you can see, I've got a screw here that holds this plate in and one on the bottom. And when I take that out, I should be able to pull this whole squirrel cage out. Let's get these little hooks, the hook in there. I don't know if you can see that, but these are cuts that are pushed in that grab the edge of this metal and it rests on it. So I know that everything goes back in. I wouldn't want to put this in upside down. That would not be good.
Two hours later. As you can see, I got nearly everything off except the a little bit of rust on the edge, but it didn't take any of the galvanizing off, which is the nice thing about the vapor honer is it doesn't really remove material. But I got rid of all the junk that was clinging onto these blades, so now they're clean. Okay, I put a little bit of thread lock on this little keeper stud. There's a flat part on this shaft that this goes on, and I actually lined up the scar mark from this originally, so it's this squirrel cage is set in the exact same place it was before. Okay, so that should keep it sliding. Now that should move a lot more air, a lot easier. Now I'm just turning it here to see if there's any obstructions, any wobble. I don't see any wobble. And it looks like we're all good. Thread locks on there. No dents. I still have my weights on the blades. Now this piece, there we go. And she's solid. Now you've probably seen stuff like this before. It usually comes in a roll about 4 inches thick for taping seams. This stuff is semi-sticky, so it'll kind of stick to the surface you want to seal up. Now while I'm here, you want to get yourself some of this, and a brush you want to throw away. I actually can clean it up too. And once you put this stuff on, you just paint this sealer over it and let it dry, and you're done. Actually pretty simple. Now, it's not important that this tape be really sticky, because as long as it'll stay relatively in place, and you just put this sealer on and it sticks just like it would on a drywall joint. You can put this on pretty thick. Just lay it on thick. When this stuff dries, it's like rubber.
Okay, so I buttoned everything up in the reverse order that I took it apart, cut away the air plenum, which is where all the return air from the house is cycled back through the air handler, and checked it out because it leaked last year pretty badly, and I wanted to see if there was any black mold. No black mold, so we're good there. I removed the air handler's electric motor and fan. There's the only way to get at the squirrel cage, that is the fan, and it was crusted up with 25 years of muck and guck. I ended up running it through the vapor honing machine. It's clean as a whistle. Put it back in, tested it, runs flawlessly. Unfortunately, it's a little bit louder because it's moving a lot more CFM, and in the house you're hearing the wind actually escape around those filters and whistle. And so I got that to deal with. I'm going to have to find a way to seal up those filters a little bit better, so I knock down that whistling sound. The good news is I'm moving more CFM, so it's going to be a little bit more efficient. So anyway, that job went well, and it's all good. I'm happy with it. So once again, thanks for watching.